What up? Bringing back a throwback. Hip Hop News, episode 21, man. So, Stalley announces his album title is going to be entitled Ohio. And I gotta say, man, I was wondering, was he ever gonna drop a debut from MMG? Because after his last couple mixtapes, I had lost all hope in that nigga. Like, man, this nigga is not about to drop a debut album. You know, Lincoln Way Night joint was cool. Savage Journey to the American Dream was cool, but I think he lost me with Honest Cowboy. I never got into that mixtape for some reason. I don't know what it was. Maybe the vibe of it, but I'm gonna go back and listen to it and review it before, you know, his album drop. But I definitely feel like he should have been dropped the album. It's a lot of people on MMG that should have dropped the album, but I feel like Stalley was when he had the momentum. I don't know what the fuck was it. Like, I get it with certain situations, it's business, so it's never personal, it's business. It's the whole distribution thing. You feel what I'm saying? So like, you sign to MMG, he needs the distribution. It's like the Pill situation all over again. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Pill couldn't release the album because he technically wasn't signed to MMG, and besides, he was under another situation. So at the end of the day, I mean, I seen the interview, he talks about it, you know, he in the studio working on it, and I think that's a good look, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, do people even still care? I'm intrigued to know what he gonna do with this album, what it's gonna sound like. You know, is it gonna stick to him, or is it gonna be that commercial mainstream shit? Sidebar real quick, Misko want out of Cash Money Records. I've been said that wasn't gonna work. But anyway, back to Stalley. So yeah, man, Ohio is gonna be the name of the album. I guarantee you this is a mixtape. I put money on it was a mixtape, and Ross was like, nah, man, you should just hold out, man. Like, hold that for the album. Even though he just, quote unquote, now working on it. You know how artists, I just got in the lab and, you know, we working on it. Niggas be in the studio with 100 songs, 200 songs, 500 songs, right? And trying to cipher through them and be like, yo, I'm in the lab right now. Same shit with Fab, where it's like, oh, I'm working on a new album. Young OG, I just started on it. Alright, but anyway, so what y'all feel about Stalley with finally getting a debut album? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's sad if he dropped an album before Gunplay, because I've been waiting on that fucking Gunplay album ever since that trial shit where he smacked the fuck out of his accountant, and that nigga's facing damn near life in prison, and he got acquitted. Then a mixtape dropped, and he, you know what I'm saying, he had that great motherfucking that great song, that Bible on the Dashboard. They should have took off right there, ran with it. Like, when you have something that hot where he never really had a song like that, you gotta take off, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck Def Jam was thinking, but I think he signed with Def Jam, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think he is, but whatever label he on, when you have something like that that's popping, because who would have thought Gunplay would have a dope ass single, then, you know what I mean, be popping like he was popping when he was this, niggas just thought he was, you know what I mean? So for Stalley to come out and be like, I got an album coming out, I think it's cool, but man, like, let me look, his last mixtape dropped last year, this month, on the 8th, so it's been like a year since he had anything in the streets. I don't know, I mean, it's just like, how can you go, like, I mean, he's been quiet, other than being on the, you know, self-made albums and, you know, shit like that, but I haven't heard shit from him. So I think that's kind of crazy, where you got to get your fans back in tune with you. I don't know why artists do that. They do two fucking things that I hate. One, you push a mixtape back. How the fuck do you do that? And two, you just feel like you're some kind of king where you can step away from the game for a minute without releasing anything. Like, you can throw out songs and shit. If they hit, they hit. They don't. But to just stay away from the situation and just all been in the lab working, how we know that if we ain't heard shit? So, I mean, I don't know. I just hope Ross don't just do him like most artists do, you know, end of the year type shit. It's like the fall where it's like, all right, tax write-off, put the album out. With no promotion, no nothing, and just out there. So, I mean, I'm excited to hear about he finally dropping the album, but at the same time, I think he gotta have the right takeoff, because if he don't have the right takeoff, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, if it wasn't for Ross, would a lot of people be exposed to him? Because how many motherfuckers, you know, underground, where they may get that one joint to where it's like on MTV Jams, like, oh, okay, that shit cool, but then after that, nothing no more. And you forget about that shit after 3 or 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think kind of the raw shit helped him, but then it didn't. Because I don't think it really took him nowhere. Because if, like, he said that he started rapping himself and got him to where he was at, but I didn't ever hear of him until he had that one joint. No, I take that back. I first heard that nigga when Currency put him on the track Addresses. That's when I first heard, and I was like, I didn't know him, but I was like, yo, that nigga nice. Like, that was a cool verse or whatever. But even then, I didn't go check for him to see if he got a project. And then he fizzled away. Then next thing, he popped back up with that one song, Slap. I didn't even like that song. My girl liked it, that weak shit. I was like, whatever. Then it fizzled away. Then Ross came in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I just hope it work out for the best. I hope he put his mind and his grind into it, because if your grind got you to where you at, and people barely knew who you was, he done said it in interviews, and you signed to one of the semi-biggest labels in the game, and people still ain't checking for you, what can they do? Give you a try error, and it's like, all right, release an album. It didn't work out. We got part ways. What y'all think about this news? Let me know, man. 1.